Who shot Tupac?
I already know who shot. I believe in karma. I believe in all of that.
We are here today to announce the arrest of CPD for the murder of Tupac Shakur.
But what did Katt Williams think about Tupac's murder?
Do you have any idea who shot Suge?
I'm pretty sure Suge knows who shot Suge.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
so when he comes out of sedation, I'm sure anybody who gets shot will tell you who shot them, right?
Yeah.
But if the police say nobody shot him, I believe nobody shot him. And if nobody shot him, that's the same nobody that shot Tupac. And if nobody shot Tupac, it's the same nobody that shot MLK.
At that time, was Diddy's reaction to Tupac's death real or fake?
Tupac hit us with Hit 'Em Up, and that joint was cold. I had to make the call to Biggie, and I said, we're not gonna respond. Somebody's gonna get hurt.
Trying to see me weak, hearts I rip. Biggie Smalls and Junior Mafia, some mark.
New court documents show that PPD Davis accused Sean Diddy Combs of paying $1 million for the of rap icon Tupac Shakur.
And what was Gene Deal's reaction to them?
Pac beat him out of the park for Bishop and Juice.
Bishop! What you want?
Puff wanted that part too. He auditioned for that part too. You understand? People may not tell y'all that, but he auditioned for that part too. And then you gotta see, like, you could just go tell that the drugs had his mind so messed up, whereas that he started thinking he was Tupac. For instance, did you see that Grammy speech he did?
We decide what's hot. If we don't go, nobody goes. If we don't support, nobody supports. We control what's cool, we control what's hot.
Hey, listen to the verbiage in there. He's saying the same stuff Pac was saying.
As far as fashion, it's the young niggas. As far as the words, slang, the movies, what's hot, it's the young niggas.
Yeah.
We control that.
He's saying the same stuff about why? Why? It's crazy.
50 Cent's documentary about Diddy has already shaken hip-hop culture by bringing forward serious new allegations surrounding Sean Diddy Combs and his connections to some of the genre's most controversial moments. Now, comedian Katt Williams has taken the conversation even further by making claims about Tupac Shakur's death that Netflix reportedly chose not to include in Sean Combs' The Reckoning. Williams, a longtime and outspoken critic of Diddy, says he turned down major financial opportunities to avoid being drawn into that world. He has also suggested that he has spent decades quietly collecting information, history, and untold stories that could eventually change how people understand these events. And many of his supporters believe this includes unreleased footage and first-hand accounts related to Tupac, material that would have pushed the documentary into much darker and more complex territory. While the Netflix series explored alleged links between Diddy and the turbulent events of the 1990s through interviews and archival material, 50 Cent has revealed that much of the content never made it into the final cut. He claimed there are around 140 hours of unused footage containing deeper context and complicated personal connections that could not fit into the 4-episode format. One confirmed but omitted detail involved overlapping relationship ties between Diddy and people within Tupac's circle, which was reportedly removed due to time limitations. Williams insists that his own collection of information goes far beyond what has been revealed so far, suggesting that the full story is layered, complex, and far bigger than any single documentary. As Netflix stands by its editorial decisions, fans are left wondering whether future releases or a second season might uncover what was left out, and whether this long-debated chapter of hip-hop history is still waiting to be fully told.
On that day, at 19-ish years old, boom, he becomes famous.
Wow.
And he creates that rumor reputation of he can put the biggest parties in the world and people show up, the biggest promoter. So that became a way where his image got bigger and bigger and bigger with this. And then when you continue, there's a part with what he didn't like is that Tupac and Biggie started getting very close because Tupac would allow Biggie to open for him. So you guys have to realize, I had Greg Kading on the show 10 years ago. Greg Kading is the guy that was the lead investigator of Tupac. He was in the documentary as well. He was investigating what happened to, he was investigating what happened to, and Rob, if you can pull up the podcast with he and I, and the way I did it on the board, and I put all the suspects of who it could have been. And then he gets the recording and shows with Keefe D. Keefe D is the guy that was the boss who Diddy allegedly offered $1 million. They said, I'll take $1 million to take both of them out. So, and he's saying the recording, he's saying it to the feds. So right here, if you zoom in on this list, Rob, can you zoom in on the list? Okay. So if you zoom in, you see the bottom three names. You see the bottom three names right there?
On the right?
By his right hand.
Tupac?
Right there. Yeah, that's Keefe D is right in the middle.
Okay.
The one to the left is the guy that stole one of the Death Row Records chains.
Oh.
Zoom in a little bit. You can't do it? Okay, it's all good. No worries. So the guy in the middle is the guy that's having a conversation who says, yeah, he offered us $1 million to take him out. Keefe D. And so they try to get the money. They're not able to kill both because he wanted them to kill both Suge and Pac.
In the car?
They only kill Pac, and they don't kill Suge. So allegedly, they got paid $500,000. The $500,000 was paid to the guy on the right, all the way to the right. You see the guy on the right?
Corey.
He's the one allegedly that got the $500,000, and that money never went to Keefe D or anybody else. The guy on the left is the one that stole the chain, the chain, which was a Death Row Records chain. That's a way of saying I got your rapper's chain, because if you were one of the guys, Death Row. So long story short, this whole thing is in recording that he said this. So what does Diddy do? Rob, can you pull up this song? It's a song called Black Rob, featuring Mark Curry and Mario Winans. If you can just type in lyrics, okay? So he gets $1 million. Can you go to the lyrics? And Diddy's in the lyrics when he gets started. Go a little bit lower. Boom. Muscle.
You see it in this game?
Can you type in the word in there, Rob? Nice guy. Type Control F, nice guy. Okay, right there. Look at it. It's 1999. No more Mr. Nice Guy. Been nice too long. I'm just going to start making y'all
blank
disappear. Man, first I'm going to take your records off the radio. Then I'm going to erase your social security number. Take your birth certificate out flies. I'm going to do your whole effing family. Ain't nothing but mercy. And then, by the way, in the lyrics, he says, I'll drop $1 million on your head to erase you. Can you type in, I'll drop $1 million, just put Control F. Just go to Google and type this out. I'll drop $1 million on your head. I'll drop $1 million on your head, and just put Diddy next to it. Right there. See, it says Black Rob. What song came up?
Phrase.
I'll drop $1 million on your head. Erase you and your whole family, biatch.
Wow.
He's saying it in the song on what he did to get rid of Tupac.
What an idiot.
He's saying this like that is the level of criminality
and arrogance.
I'm going to get away with it, right? One day I'm at an NBA game. This was 2 years ago, right before he got arrested. I had done like 3 videos on Diddy. He's at a game with one of his girls. He sees me, I see him. Listen, if there's a guy in the hip hop world I cannot stand, is this guy. I'm looking at him, he's looking at me. And then we're locked in. Vinny, when I tell you we're locked in eye to eye, 2 minutes.
And you're not breaking.
Neither one of us are breaking.
And it's across the...
Look, you don't understand. To me, Tupac was as a young kid coming up, he played a very big role as
in your painting.
Yeah, he's
the most influential people in your life.
To me, that guy was so to me, you took this guy out. I investigated a lot of people based on the reports and things that we talked to a lot of different people. It always comes...
The story intensifies as Gene Deal returns to the spotlight with one of his most provocative claims yet, connecting Diddy, Tupac, and a network of personal relationships into a single, unsettling narrative that has fans analysing every detail. According to Deal, the tension between Diddy and Tupac went far beyond music, fame, or regional rivalry. It touched something deeper and more personal on a psychological level. He describes a dynamic driven by envy disguised as competition, claiming that Diddy was intensely focused on Tupac's influence, his presence, and the people around him. In Deal's version of events, whenever Tupac formed a new connection, Diddy would eventually appear in the same circles, not by coincidence, but as part of a recurring pattern that raised serious questions. What makes the story even more intriguing is how Deal connects this behavior to Diddy's mindset at the time. He portrays a volatile mix of admiration and resentment, where fascination and rivalry existed side by side. Deal points to moments where Diddy allegedly mirrored Tupac's style, language, and ambition, suggesting that competition may have quietly evolved into imitation. He then challenges the long-accepted narrative of constant hostility during the East Coast-West Coast era, recalling encounters where Diddy, Tupac, and Suge Knight crossed paths and interacted with far more calm and civility than history has led people to believe. According to Deal, this reveals that the true nature of that era was far more complex and far more mysterious than previously understood.
Tupac stuff. Now, you know, we all know Diddy and the feud with Biggie and everything, but they were saying that Diddy was really, really jealous of Biggie and Tupac's relationship.
Right. You know what I'm saying? And Kirk Burroughs, the president of Bad Boy, he knew Puff real well. Real well. So he made those accusations, and then you could see it too. You could see like every girl that Pop talked to. Sally Richardson, you know what I'm saying? Diddy got with her. Sarah Chapman, Diddy got with her. You understand? You know, the list goes on and on and on. You understand? If he seen Pac with him, he wanted him. If he saw Pac wear it, he wanted to have it. You understand? Pac beat him out of the part for Bishop and Juice. You understand? Puff wanted that part too. He auditioned for that part too. You understand? People may not tell y'all that, but he auditioned for that part too. So, you know, he wanted, and then you got to see, like, you could just go tell that the drugs had his mind so messed up, whereas that he started thinking he was Tupac. For instance, did you see that Grammy speech he did?
I mean, I've seen quite a few speeches from Diddy. I don't remember.
Hey, listen to the verbiage in there. He's saying the same stuff Pac was saying.
Oh, wow.
The same, if you people go back, he's saying the same stuff with Pac. Why? It's crazy. You know what I'm saying? He did have he disliked Pac, but he also loved him in certain things. It's a strange, weird, it's a strange, weird, I guess, relationship that they had, bro.
Yeah, that is crazy, man. Because I even interviewed Reggie, and like Suge and Diddy were cool too. Even when their beef was going on, I heard they were still communicating and like not. I don't know, man. It was like this weird dynamic that they had.
Y'all thought it was an East Coast West Coast war. One day we was in behind a house of blues. You hear me? We was driving through that. We had a reporter in the car. He was either from Billboard or he was from what's that other big magazine? Rolling Stones. It may have been Rolling Stones. He's in the car with me. Riz is on the driver's side. Riz is on the passenger side in the back. The reporter's in the middle. I'm on the driver's side in the back. You got Kenny driving, Puff is in the front. We see Suge and Tupac, right? Pac is in a white Rolls Royce convertible. Suge is in a red Rolls Royce convertible. It's about a House of Blues. Behind the House of Blues, it was about in the afternoon. It wasn't even late at night or nothing like that. So Puff rolled up to Pac. We rolled up to Pac, and Puff said, "Yo, what up, Pac?" Pac looked at that nigga and turned his head and got back on his phone. My man Riz said, "Speak to Suge. Suge is the boss. Speak to Suge." Puff we roll up to Suge car. Yo, what up, Suge? Nothing much. What's happening? He said, "Yo, man, we got any problems? You know if we got any problems out here?" Suge said, "I don't know no problems y'all got out here." You understand what I'm saying? He said, "We good?" He said, "Yeah, I guess y'all good." You know what I'm saying? You good? They talking like that. We drive off. So, did they talk? Yeah, they talk. I seen Pac talk to Puff after that Quad Studio thing. We was in the Roxy. Pac arm was in a sling. Pac arm was in a sling or something like that. A dude lit a cigarette for Pac. We was in the Roxy downtown. Him and Puff was talking like they was talking.
Damn.
So it's a crazy dynamic, but it is what it is, bro.
Adding another layer to the unfolding story, Katt Williams' long-standing hints now feel far more intentional and significant, especially when viewed through hindsight. It's striking to realize that as early as 2014, almost a decade before the recent Diddy documentary, Katt was already pointing toward possible connections between Diddy and Tupac that few people were willing to openly discuss. In footage from that period, he wasn't joking or spreading rumors. Instead, he was subtly indicating that deeper relationships existed within Tupac's circle, long before the most controversial chapters became public. Unlike distant observers or online speculation, Katt spoke with the confidence of someone who believed he understood truths others were either afraid to confront or too deeply involved to reveal. His words carried a sense of control rather than sensationalism, suggesting that the real story had been buried for years beneath silence, loyalty, and pressure, and that what the public is seeing today may only represent a small portion of what has always been known behind closed doors.
So, have you heard from Suge?
Yes.
How's he holding up?
Well, first of all, I was there that night. I was with Suge.
Oh, you were with him. You okay. Do you have any idea who shot Suge?
I'm pretty sure Suge knows who shot Suge.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
so when he comes out of sedation, I'm sure anybody who gets shot will tell you who shot them, right?
Yeah.
But if the police say nobody shot him, I believe nobody shot him. And if nobody shot him, that's the same nobody that shot Tupac. And if nobody shot Tupac, it's the same nobody that shot MLK. And if nobody shot him, that's the same person that shot Malcolm X too. It's a lot of nobodies out there, and nobody minds if nobody comes up missing, right? That don't bother nobody, does it? Certainly doesn't bother me.
So,
shout outs to the nobodies of the world.
You're predicting this is going to be a nobody situation.
I'm making no predictions whatsoever. I'm saying the police said they arrested the shooters, then said they didn't arrest the shooters. But I was there, so I know that 20 minutes after people were laying down on the ground shot, no police had entered the club yet.
Did Suge do anything to provoke this, or?
Nobody in the world has ever provoked themselves being shot.
That's true.
There's only two ways to get shot. Either you believe you're somewhere where a person can't have a gun, therefore making you safe, you know, like an airport or a club that restricts entrance, and a situation where the person already has the gun out you're standing in front of somebody. Now, if you're an idiot, you can believe this was about Suge Knight, but Suge Knight has been accessible every day of his life for 20 years. We know who it was aimed at. We know whose life he saved, and we know why they won't talk about it. But now the rumor mill would tell you, yeah, see, the same thing Suge was doing to Katt, he was trying to do to Chris. They're forgetting something. Suge has never managed me.
What about the reports that this was gang related? These were two gang members that thought they did it in spite of Tupac.
If it was gang related, then why didn't it happen thoroughly? You see, there's parts of this story that just don't seem to make sense.
Right.
You're saying it was gang related, so that means somebody's gang was shooting at somebody's gang, and then somebody's gang didn't shoot back. That's your story? That's not really how gang stuff works.
For years, one haunting line from Katt Williams hovered over hip-hop when he warned that no one would ever be held accountable. At the time, many dismissed it as a general criticism of silence and power structures. But that statement took on far greater weight when Williams later clarified that he was pointing directly at Diddy. A revelation that fundamentally reshaped the conversation. The impact of his words deepens when placed alongside Tupac Shakur's own carefully chosen remarks from a resurfaced 1995 interview. Without recklessly naming names, Tupac suggested that he believed Diddy had knowledge related to the 1994 Quad Studios incident, emphasizing that he had reasons for keeping certain truths private because revealing them could be dangerous. He spoke of the chilling aftermath of isolation, avoidance, and familiar faces suddenly keeping their distance. Details that eerily echo Williams' long-standing claim that silence often serves as a form of protection. From there, the narrative stretches back to the mid-1990s, when tensions between East Coast and West Coast hip-hop reached a breaking point. Diddy, the notorious B.I.G., and Death Row Records founder Suge Knight stood at the center of a volatile rivalry fueled by public insults, industry pressure, and escalating personal distrust. After Tupac was wounded in the Quad Studios attack, he became convinced that key figures knew more than they admitted, a belief that fractured the culture and accelerated the divide, especially as songs and public appearances were interpreted as deliberate provocation. Tupac's alliance with Death Row, his explosive diss records, and his rapidly growing influence only raised the stakes. Insiders later claimed that fear was spreading behind the scenes as tensions intensified. Years later, testimony from individuals connected to the events in Las Vegas surrounding Tupac's death added yet another controversial layer, alleging motives driven by fear and rivalry. However, investigators ultimately stated that there was not enough direct evidence to bring charges against Diddy. Despite decades of rumors, interviews, and insider accounts, no legal accountability ever followed. What remains is one of hip-hop's most debated and unresolved chapters, a story that continues to haunt the culture and set the stage for voices like Suge Knight's to re-enter the conversation about a conflict that refuses to fade into history.
In time, Katt is who he is, and if you really want to understand Katt, he on tour right now. Go buy one tickets per roll. You can hear it all. He gonna tell the truth. That's the best way to find out about trap.
Even from there, you're selling tickets. You can't, no matter where you're selling. No, the only reason I asked this question is because when he did this interview with Shannon Sharpe, and I know you played in the NFL before. When he did this interview with Shannon Sharpe, everywhere everybody was talking, but also people were quiet. I want to play one of the clips, Rob. If you can play the clip of what Katt said to Shannon Sharpe about Diddy. I just want you to hear this since you haven't heard the whole thing. This is just a snippet of what Katt said about Diddy. Go for it.
These big events is all catching hell in 2024. It's up for all of them. It don't matter if you Diddy or whoever you is, TG Jakes, any of them. All lies will be exposed. That's all. And anyone who takes that the wrong way, know why they take it the wrong way.
Now, when this came out, he went after, Diddy. He went after TDG. He went after a lot of people in the space. Had you Katt and Diddy, did you guys ever party together, three of you guys? I know you and Diddy spent some time together, but did you, Katt, and Diddy ever spend time together?
I'm not gonna say I never had a threesome. I damn sure ain't had no threesome with no men. So you talking about have me and
no, that's not what I'm asking.
Threesome hung out together. What you trying to do? I mean, have you said, not me.
Well, listen, that is becoming every day something new pops up where it's no longer a surprise nowadays.
And your telephone number monitored and recorded.
But I guess the question I'm asking is, did you, Katt, and did you, Diddy, and Katt ever hang out where? And the reason why I'm asking this, where you actually personally witnessed some of the accusations that Diddy is having, saying the fact that he had cameras in the room.
This okay. But this is the thing I'm gonna tell you. We from two different worlds. Number one, him and I. Number two, I'm the guy that didn't want to invite to those parties. And I'm glad of it. I've never been happy to be left out of my life. But at the same time, I'm not the guy who's in for Puffy's downfall. But I am the guy who supports the victims who got victimized, right? But at the same time, whatever the situation is, everybody knows it's wrong. And I don't think he can get punished as hard as a regular person because, you know, he used to be an FBI informant for a long time, they say. So I'm quite sure that play a role.
You're saying...
Asking the question, me, Katt, and Puffy, we had no reason to be hanging out. Me and Katt hanging out, me and Puffy. So that's that.
Got it. So you're saying Diddy's an FBI informant, and he's been one for many years.
That's what they say. Nothing ever happens, but it's still, like I say, it ain't my business. Well, I said that because anybody else got with us quick, fast, in a hurry. But you know, the most important thing about this is that with me, you got some people will have a opinion on something either they weren't a part of or they wasn't there. And I never want to be that type of person because, you know, there's only so many people who had Tupac or seen Tupac or talked to Tupac. And I feel that way because I often hear so many Tupac stories from people who never met him, people who wasn't around. Then you had the ones that if they worked at McDonald's and they took Tupac orders, they don't mean they know Tupac. Or you doing security or wherever, down me, you know the man. All these people been benefiting and capitalizing on trying to put the man down or lie on him or tell some stories that they weren't there or they know anything about. Because I don't think none of these people psychic. And I'm not. You know what happened to the last psychic bitch? She ended up, whoever her name was, the fake Boston boys. You know what happened to her when it all went bad. So I don't like to speculate. So I just tell.
Despite decades of rumors, resurfaced interviews, and renewed attention surrounding Tupac Shakur's death, Gene Deal maintains a grounded and unsentimental position. He insists that without hard physical evidence, there is no legal path to proving Sean Diddy Combs' responsibility. Speaking about Keith D's upcoming trial, Deal emphasizes that speculation, no matter how widespread or intense, cannot sustain a case of this magnitude. Courts, he explains, do not rule on narratives or suspicions, but on verifiable facts. He notes that the defense strategy revolves around claims that Diddy orchestrated plans to harm Tupac and Suge Knight, yet stresses that such allegations collapse without concrete proof. In Deal's view, a murder trial requires solid documentation, traceable financial records, or credible eyewitness testimony capable of withstanding rigorous scrutiny, and he argues that none of these elements currently exist. Deal highlights the absence of a confirmed money trail, no direct financial link connecting Diddy to Keith D, and no witness willing to testify that they personally observed or heard such plans being discussed. He also questions Keith D's credibility, pointing to inconsistencies across multiple versions of his story over the years, weaknesses that defense attorneys are likely to exploit aggressively. His message is clear and uncompromising. Belief and suspicion may drive public debate, but without undeniable evidence, the courtroom remains an entirely different battlefield.
With a murder trial, you can't only use circumstantial evidence. You have to have some kind of physical evidence. There's no physical evidence that Keefe D killed or had something to do with Pac's death. There's circumstantial evidence. There's people that could probably testify or what somebody told them or heard. So now, Keefe D lawyers and them did a great job when they did trial by judge, because the judge is looking for physical evidence. What ties Keefe D to Puff? What ties Keefe D to the murder of Tupac? And how could they prove that either one of them has something to do with it? Somebody would have to get on the stand and say that I saw him, he told me, and they want to have to believe them. So, do they believe Keefe D? If he told a lot of different stories, you got to realize he may have told more than one or two stories, because he tell that story now. What about the stories he told prior to this? You understand what I'm saying? So you're going to look at that. You're going to look at, okay, did he get the money? Where's the money at? Who got the money? Who wrote the check? Who paid the money? Where did it come from? When did it come from? It's a lot of mitigating circumstances in that whole case that is going to be hard to prove. You can easily say anything, but you got to look at that. Keefe D defense is going to say, okay, this was a gang situation. Then you hear, Suge telling Pac on one of the things that he told Pac, yo, listen to me, bruh, you done got involved into some gang stuff now, and things might be different. You understand? Because gangs might be involved now. Yo, bro, let me tell you, back in the day, I was there. Let me just say, and what I mean I was there is that, don't you know that a lot of people was coming up dead? There was so many shootings out of LA about crazy. It's a lot of people that came up dead behind that. The Bloods was laying people down, but behind Pac getting shot. It was a big, it sparked a big gang war out there. So, if they want to pull Diddy into that, they gotta mitigate circumstantial evidence. Anybody could be a witness for you, but what can they prove? Somebody's gonna have to say, I heard this conversation. This was a handshake or a nod or something went down, and it's going to be hard to prove. It's going to be hard to prove. Unless they follow the money. They were always saying stuff and they try to make it seem like I said it. I never said it. All I said was I saw a check for $1 million. Right? Eric Von Zip had a check for $1 million, and he said he got it from Al Heyman. Not Al Heyman. What's the dude's name? He was married to Gladys Knight. Black Ground Records. Barry Hankerson. And he said, I got this check from Barry Hankerson, and what's the other dude's name? Jimmy Henchman. And it's for me selling my record label to him. I said, I didn't know you had a record label. And when he showed us, and I said us the check. When he showed us the check, it wasn't only me. I said, dog, when did he get a record label?
So where do you stand? Are we dealing with a truth buried by the lack of a paper trail, or is the real evidence still hidden, waiting for the right moment to come out? Share your thoughts in the comments and be part of the conversation. If this breakdown got your attention, don't forget to subscribe so you never miss our latest updates. Until next time, stay sharp, stay informed, and keep it real.